So, I've never done any sort of YouTube video editing, anything like that before. I have a degree in philosophy and media arts. Um, I don't really like media arts because I'm not very big into technical things. I don't really like, manipulating a camera or making sure everything works properly and like, I don't like doing that. Um, I'm much more attuned to the philosophy side. I would love to get a job in it. I want to become a professor one day. I want to do all these sorts of things. I have no idea how to do it. I'm getting there, whatever. Okay, great. But um, that is to say, this is my first time doing anything of this realm, so I don't really understand what I'm doing. I just kind of went for it. The reason I went for it is because there's something that I feel like I have to talk about or get out there. There's a lot of stuff that I really want to get out there, over the course of time, and maybe I could, make something of a YouTube channel and like get it out there to be more of a voice or something to that effect. It's kind of what I've always wanted to do, um, but it's just finding that is difficult. I think that today is a good day to do that because there was news that like Charlie Kirk got assassinated. I saw the video. It's horrific. There's a lot of stuff that I just have trouble talking to other people about because I don't know. There's a lot of fear in their voices, and I'm like, oh, okay. Let me try to talk to them more to where they understand. Let me try to see if I could calm them down. Well, the country is quite divided today, and the blah blah blah. It doesn't help anybody. It never has. It never will. I'm much more of a abstract talker and thinker than I am a direct talker, thinker, person who's able to get ideas across. And it has bitten me in the butt. I don't know how many times. It's doing it to me right now. I'm jumping back and forth, going through different thought loops. It, it's rough, is my gist. But like, I felt like I had to make some type of video or say something about this because we are going what feels like, and I know every single thing that happens in the U.S., and this is just speaking on the US just because I live there, it has a broader context with the rest of the world. I get that. So I'm kind of speaking in universal context, even though talking about the US. We're at a, it feels like we're at a critical point. And I know, like, everyone says that every couple years. Like, oh, we're at a critical point. We're at a critical point. There's no going back, no going back, no going back. Like, every second is a no going back moment. An unprecedented moment in history is we're constantly entering uncharted territory. But this feels fundamentally different. Um, and I understand it's just a feeling. We have these feelings about a lot of things. The moon landing, everything's fundamentally different. AI, everything's fundamentally different. It is, to be fair, and we have yet to see how that technology pans out. But when it comes to the assassination of public speakers, ooh, there's something there. There's something there. And it's really rough to see our country deal with that. I'm looking on social media today and I look at all of my friends that are Republican and they're posting, please pray for his family, please do all these, like pray, let's have him in our thoughts, let's do this as a country, let's do this as a country, let's fight for this, let's fight for that. Um, we mourn for Charlie Kirk, blah, blah, blah. And then there are liberals, liberal friends that I have that are saying nothing. And when I speak to people that are Republican, they say, yeah, that's because the liberals don't want to say anything. When I speak to people that are liberal, they say, yeah, of course, because they're bootlickers of Charlie Kirk and the like. Um, Not too many of the people that I'm in my general social circle are too extremist, but um, it feels like it's getting more and more to that point where even I feel like more of a moderate. Like I know I have more, I was in the college, I was in the university campus. I'm a little bit more leftist in my beliefs and when it comes to, social climate and the way things should be discoursed. I'm much more socialist than I am capitalist. I have a huge amount of critiques with this and that, and I align more, if you look at that basic little political graph, to the left. Um, which I'm trying to do left for the camera, not for me. So I align a little bit to the left, socially, great. But that is exactly my point. When people are looking at me and talking, and I consider myself a moderate, I don't know. This feels a bit dangerous. It feels a bit, um, I don't know how to explain it without being catch-all, but it feels Civil War-y. Um, my point is, we're very, very polarized. We're way too polarized, to the point where I'm getting scared. And I think a lot of people are reflecting that same thing, and that they're getting scared. But the fear is causing them to be more polarized, and that's why I wanted to make this video, or a video like it, or any type of video essay, or any sort of documentation in general, because I feel like the polarization is so unprecedented that we are now no longer blinded not only to what we should be doing. I mean, there's a lot of shoulds here. Um, you know, a lot of people, a lot of moderates, or people that aren't extremely politically climatized, will say we need to fight, like if there's a vision of who to fight domestically, we look at, like a class struggle is what's commonly said, and I agree with it. I'm so down. But, but, um, when it comes to left and right, we are not only blind to the fact that we should be doing, focusing our efforts elsewhere than each other and stuff like that, but we are not even focusing on how the individual acts at home to other individuals of different political climates. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. That's what feels unprecedented. We have people like my mother. She's in the other room. I can't afford to move out. Um, she's in the other room. She's a Republican. She has particular views. We disagree on a lot of those views. We debate about those particular views, and we all come together at the end of the day, but there is still that wane where in the middle of the day, if I disagree about something and I go, that's crazy on screen, she goes, what's crazy about it? Instantly, instantly, instantly. And I can't say that that is the blame of her, because I will notice myself doing the exact same thing. I will look at her and I will go, well, why do you think that that's the case? Even if I put it in a way that isn't, that's exactly what it is. It's me being instantly, well, I can't use another word other than polarized against her outright reactions to things. Our reactions to things are polarized. That's another topic. It's just very worrying. And I think that the way that we move forward is, well, I mean, everyone says this. Everyone says the way that we move forward is by coming together, not splitting apart. House divided cannot stand. Things like that from all the greats. But when you look at a system that is not only dividing, but is internally divided itself, you get to the point where people don't even know what unity is. And when people don't know what unity is, that's the scary thing that I'm talking about. It's almost like we've applied the consumerist notion of looking at goods and services in the sphere of being a worker, um, which I'll have to talk about that some other time. Um, I hope you get what I mean by that. If not, that's okay. I didn't explain it well. But we also look at things like the polarization of our political climate and tragedies that happen every single day, and the amount of coverage they get, not only with news sources and media, but also with the media that we consume nowadays, which is very much podcast and independent. But they still have political leanings. That's what's important. That is what is scary. We are diametrically at a point where the country can go in one of two ways. I guess you could have a third, and that being ultimate destruction, or some type of other third route that we don't see coming that is used from an external. But if you just take America by itself and take it as a whole in what it is, two ways, and those are Republican or Democrat. And it's like, yeah, I get that that is that's the crossroads that we're at, but it has always been that way. It has always been a democracy because of that way. it's now getting to the point where it's no longer. I mean, we can argue back and forth whether it's been a democracy, which I would argue that it hasn't even been a democracy. Even a democratic republic, like it's self-proclaimed a democratic republic, I don't even think it's that. Um, we talk about oligarchy culture, um, things like that, and then it becomes a class thing again. But as soon as you look into the actual lives of human beings on the ground, it's never class. If you're in a leftist sphere, I guess the discussion of class can come up, but it's all very abstract. It's all very practical. It's, he shouldn't be like that. These people shouldn't be like that. It's a lot of virtue signaling. The right is the same way, but a lot about social issues nowadays, where it's like, these people shouldn't be this way. This kinds of people shouldn't behave this way. These kinds of people shouldn't talk like that. Things like that. Um, and I feel like we need a dire reformation of what not only what it means to be a unionized people, but also what it means to keep our dialogue in line to ourselves to the point where we are creating action from our beliefs. Um, I didn't explain that too well. The last part, again, try to re-explain it. We need to be able to create, we need to be able to live our own moral dialogues and complexities. And that's not to say that people are hypocrites or something like that, which people are, but that's a different point. My point is to say that if there is something wrong, we don't stand up for it. We will make our mocks and complaints, and we will move on because the next door neighbor might see the world completely differently. Um, and I think there's a deeper core here that truth is degrading, and because truth is degrading, people have subconsciously, over time, gradual progress and gradual change, have polarized into two different directions. Um, so I think it's natural, but I don't think it's healthy, and I don't think it's sustainable.